Okay, so get this.
Uh-huh.
We found this Reddit thread, right? Ask Men Advice.
Okay.
And they're talking about Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like, do men even care about it?
Oh,
And
interesting.
the answer's, oh my goodness. It's like a
Really?
total roller
Jerk it
coaster.
fits
You get
in.
the lovey-dovey types, the ones who are all about romance.
Right.
But then there's this whole other group.
Okay.
They're like, Valentine's Day. More like Valentine's Day, Mayor.
Yeah, some people definitely have strong feelings about it.
It's wild. Like, some guys were straight up calling it a Hallmark holiday.
Oh, that's a
A
class.
corporate scam, they said.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, when did we start thinking we need to buy a bunch of stuff to prove our love?
It's so true. And it's not just about the money either.
Wow.
It's the pressure, the expectations.
To perform, you mean?
Exactly. Like, you got to find the perfect gift,
Mm-hmm.
plan this amazing romantic date,
The whole 9 yards?
and if you mess up even a little bit,
Oh, no.
you're sleeping on the couch.
That sounds stressful.
Tell me about it. It's like Valentine's Day turned into this high-stakes competition or something.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a script you have to follow.
Right, like this predetermined idea of how it's all supposed to go down.
And if you deviate from the script.
Disaster.
Exactly.
But you know what else I noticed?
Hmm.
A lot of guys were talking about this feeling of it being a one-way street.
Like they're putting in all the effort
Yep,
and not getting much back.
exactly. And some of these comments, woo. Talk about feeling unappreciated.
I bet. You know, it makes you think about the whole dynamic of how we express love and appreciation in relationships.
Right, like, are we still stuck in these traditional roles? Or are we evolving?
It's a good question. Maybe we need to be more open about our expectations and needs.
Communication is key.
Absolutely. And, not all men hate Valentine's Day.
Oh, you're right. There were a few guys in there who actually seemed to enjoy it.
Really? What did they say?
One guy said he loves planning romantic surprises for his wife.
Oh, that's sweet.
Another one just likes the chance to spend quality time with his partner.
That's nice. Just being present with each other.
Exactly, and I think those positive voices highlight something important.
What's that?
There's no one right way to do Valentine's Day.
I agree.
What matters is finding what works for you and your partner
Yeah, making it your own.
and ditching the pressure to conform to some outdated script.
It's about celebrating love in a way that feels genuine and meaningful for both of you.
Exactly.
And you know what's really interesting?
What's that?
We found this little nugget about Valentine's Day in Japan.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Someone mentioned it on that Reddit thread.
Right, and it totally flips the script.
I know. I was so surprised when I read that.
It turns out, over there,
Mm-hmm.
it's the women who give gifts to men on Valentine's Day.
No way. Really?
Yep. Chocolates, usually.
Wow, that's so different from what we're used to.
Right, like a total role reversal.
It's kind of cool, though, don't you think?
I agree.
It just shows how these traditions and expectations can be so different depending on where you are in the world.
It's all about cultural norms and societal expectations.
It makes you wonder if we're missing out on something.
Right, like maybe there are other ways to celebrate love that we haven't even thought of.
And then get this.
What?
A month later, they have something called White Day.
I've heard of that.
And on White Day, the men give gifts back to the women.
So it's like a two-way street after all.
Exactly. It's like Valentine's Day, round two.
Maybe we should try that here.
I'd be down for that.
It's funny because
Yeah.
we also saw some guys on that Reddit thread talking about how they spend Valentine's Day with their kids or their families.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Mhm.
There was that one guy, he was saying how,
He and his wife.
yes, they go to Waffle House every year.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know, right? Such a simple tradition, but it obviously means a lot to them.
It's like they've made it their own little thing.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be fancy or expensive. It's just about spending time together and showing you care.
And I think that's a really important point.
What is?
That Valentine's Day doesn't have to be all about romantic love.
You're right.
It can be about celebrating all the different kinds of love in our lives.
Like the love we have for our friends and family.
Exactly. Or even the love we have for ourselves.
It's about appreciating all those connections and taking a moment to acknowledge the people who make our lives richer and more meaningful.
So yeah, maybe Valentine's Day isn't so bad after all.
Maybe it's just about shifting our perspective a little bit.
And remembering that it's all about celebrating love in all its forms.
Well said. All right, so we've talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly of Valentine's Day.
We've really gone deep.
Right, but
Now what?
now let's get real.
Okay, that I get.
How do we actually navigate this thing? Like, in a way that feels good, you know?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Because I keep thinking back to those guys on Reddit.
There's guys, yeah.
They felt so trapped by the whole Valentine's Day script.
The expectations, the pressure.
It's like, who decided that a fancy dinner and a dozen roses is the only way to show love.
Right. It's so one size fits all.
And not everyone's into that.
Exactly. So maybe it's time to ditch the script.
Ditch the script.
Yeah, like what if we personalized romance instead?
Personalized romance.
I think it's about getting creative, you know,
I like where you're going with this.
instead of just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
What if we actually talked to our partners?
Oh, you mean like
Ask them what they want.
what makes them feel loved?
Exactly. Because maybe it's not about the grand gestures.
Maybe it's the little things.
It could be something as simple as a handwritten note,
A home-cooked meal.
a day trip to their favorite spot,
Quality time. Just the two of you.
uninterrupted conversation.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's about connecting, not performing.
And I think that's a much more sustainable approach to love, too.
Right, because it's not just about one day.
It's about building a foundation of intimacy and understanding that lasts all year round.
It's about showing up for each other, day in and day out.
And you know, another thing we talked about,
What's that?
that whole idea of expanding our definition of Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. Beyond just romantic love.
Like that guy who has a Valentine's Day brunch with his buddies.
Every year.
It's their tradition.
And it's not just about friends either.
Right. It could be about celebrating the love we have for our family,
Our kids,
our
but
mentors.
ourselves.
Exactly. Valentine's Day can be a reminder to appreciate all the different forms of love in our lives.
To reach out to the people who matter to us.
And let them know how much we care.
I love that.
Because at the end of the day, love is about connection.
It's about feeling seen and appreciated.
And it's something we can celebrate every single day.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the biggest takeaway is this.
What's up?
Valentine's Day can be whatever we want it to be.
There's no right or wrong way to do it.
It's about finding what feels authentic and meaningful for you and the people you love.
And if you're feeling lost or overwhelmed by it all,
Take a deep breath.
remember, it's just one day.
And you have the power to create your own version of Valentine's Day.
One that celebrates love in all its beautiful and messy forms.
Well said. And if this conversation's got you thinking,
If you have your own ideas about how to celebrate love,
we want to hear from you.
head over to our YouTube channel.
It's called Shauna Polage.
Leave a comment, share your thoughts.
And while you're there,
Don't forget to hit that like button.
and subscribe to Voices of the Soul so you never miss an episode.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Until next time, keep those hearts open.
And remember,
Every day is a chance to celebrate love.
in all its amazing forms.